you're getting into a battle of wits with a 15-year-old, and you're essentially unarmed. You listen to this teenager who's actually pretty poised for his age. He doesn't yell at he's not yelling at the cops, and he's not swearing at the cops, and he's not calling the cops any names.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your personal board-certified criminal defense lawyer, accompanied by our content genius behind the camera, Michael Rivers. Today we're reacting to a little kid who kind of bests a cop. You know, there's a lot of these cop videos. First of all, what I suggest you do when you get pulled over by a cop, he wants your ID, give him your fucking ID. Unless you're on the run, then just run him over and take off. Just kidding. Can't advocate violence at all. But no, you just comply to a certain extent. You don't answer any questions, but here's my ID, here's my insurance. Now what? Where are you coming from? None of your business. Where are you going? None of your business. I don't answer questions from cops. You can just say, I don't answer questions. They don't like it, but there's nothing they can do about it. And you don't have to be their friend because they're not your friend. Before we get to that, this is brought to you by eSign.com. eSign.com is a very effective way to remotely do business. Let's say you're a cop or a former cop because you just got your ass handed to you by a teenager. Well, now you're no longer a cop. Now you have to go apply for jobs all over the place. One of the things you can do on a job application is you can have it e-signed. You download the app. You get 3 free signatures a month, and business is done remotely. eSign.com is a very effective way to remotely do business. I do it all the time because I use eSign for power of attorney for just about any kind of document, a retainer agreement. So eSign.com, if it's not eSign, no one signs. All right, I haven't seen this, but let's get right into it.
What's your badge number? Badge number.
And you know, when you ask the cop for your badge number, where does it go from there? Fucking nowhere. So who gives a shit what his badge number is, honestly? Can I have a supervisor here? Okay, now here comes now what? You know, it's just...
It says name.
3K12.
Okay.
Now what's your name?
I'm not making any statements.
You're the one driving up and down the street on the motorcycle?
I was on my gas bicycle.
Okay, that's a gas-powered vehicle. You have to have a driver's license.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not when it's 50cc and you have a permit for it.
You've just witnessed how a 15-year-old dominated the police officers.
Oh, he dominated the police officers. Did he dominate them?
However, that was just a tiny piece of a heated debate that lasted nearly 40 minutes, during which the young man emerged as the absolute victor by calmly shaming half the police station with his knowledge.
Is our goal to shame police? No, it really shouldn't. But what gets me is when police get their dander up on such minor issues. And, you know, street cops, that's what they deal with. They deal with minor issues most of the time, like a kid on a fucking moped.
On September 29th, 2019, the police received a report that a man named Michael Franchek had a dispute with his neighbor over his 15-year-old son Jack, who was riding a motorbike around the neighborhood. The police immediately went to the location, and upon questioning the neighbor, found out that Michael allegedly had a weapon tucked in his belt.
Ooh, does that look like Karen? Is that Karen? I think that's a parking lot Karen that just kind of complained to the police.
When they arrived at the front door of the Franchek family's house, this happened.
Can I help you?
Hello, are you, Michael?
Hi.
It may piss the cops off that you're recording, but honestly, I don't think it's a bad idea. Most cops nowadays have body-worn cameras, and that video footage is usually available to you. But to avoid any kind of shenanigans, record it yourself.
Can I help you with something?
Yeah, we're here about a...
And your name?
Officer Rodriguez.
First name?
Jim.
Jim. How are you, Jim? And your name? Please?
So,
Sorry? Badge number?
Name, badge number. What are you going to do with that fucking badge number? It's so stupid. Oh, I talked to 1682, and 1682 told... You know, give me a break. You're never going to fucking use that badge number. It's so stupid.
Badge number, please?
let's go ahead and talk about the incident that you had out here a few minutes ago.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Step down here for me.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no. Hey!
They have no business to stop him, honestly. But watch what happens next. And I haven't seen this, so...
Just witnessed the moment that changed the course of this police intervention. After this, Michael began to struggle with the officers who were trying to forcibly remove him from his house. During this, they used a taser before handcuffing and arresting him.
Just so you know, you cannot resist even an illegal arrest. You cannot resist an illegal arrest. So if they stop you illegally, and you try to get away, that's obstruction. Even if they don't have a legitimate reason to stop you.
From this moment on, everything you see was filmed by his son Jack, who bravely defended his father.
This is unbelievable.
No, I know.
This is
They
unbelievable.
walked in the house without a search warrant.
This is unbelievable.
Okay.
It's all on film. Get my camera.
It's on my phone too.
It's on my phone. The whole thing is on film. The whole thing is on film. Jack, follow me and record.
Okay.
This way. Follow me and record.
Give us space.
I'm not.
Give us space.
Okay.
No, Jack,
What's
record
your
the whole
space?
thing.
What's your space?
Jack, record the whole thing. Oh, you're recording.
Give us space.
Does this look like enough space?
If the police
Does this look like enough space? Tell me where the kid gets it from. There was no reason for the dad to just all of a sudden run back in the house. Guess what's going to happen 100 times out of 100 times if you do that? They're going to tackle you. You're trying to flee the cops. But they really didn't have anything to arrest him for before that.
receive a tip that someone might have a weapon, especially following a dispute or argument, they will investigate it to ensure public safety. Now regarding the house entry. An individual has a Fourth Amendment right, or to be more precise, protection against unreasonable searches and seizures.
That is true. A warrantless search or entry of your home is per se illegal, unless there's one of the exceptions. And one of the exceptions here is exigent circumstances. And that means if all of a sudden I don't know why the fuck he would do this. I mean, why would you just run back into the house? That, to me, it makes it look like, okay, there's something to what she's saying. To complain about a weapon, he may be involved, and now he's trying to run away from us. That's an issue. So I don't see that as an issue that would be successful if you litigate it. Let's just back up. We don't know exactly what the woman's complaint was, other than that he had a weapon. If he's on his property and he has a weapon, so what? You know, unless it's some kind of brass knuckles or switchblade or something that's illegal. But if he's on it, so there's no crime there. And if he's telling the officers, you know, I don't think they had the right to stop him or to detain him at that point. They had the right to, you know, knock on his door and ask him questions. He could tell him to go fuck off, and I'm going to go back in my house. But let's see what else happens.
In their home. Generally, police can't enter a person's home without a warrant or consent. But there is something called exigent circumstances.
See, I have not even seen this. I know the law.
Which refer to situations that demand immediate action and thus may justify certain actions by law enforcement that would otherwise require a warrant. They are exceptions to the Fourth Amendment's warrant requirement under the U.S. Constitution. The validity of exigent circumstances in this case would depend on the specifics of the situation and could be challenged in court.
I didn't resist. I know. I didn't do it. You know. See, he acknowledged that I didn't resist, Jack.
Yeah, I have it on video.
I didn't resist.
Well, we asked you to stop, right?
I didn't do anything against your instructions. This guy came into my house without a warrant, without any probable cause.
Let me just talk for a second.
I said, I don't know anything, and
So you need to be a little calmer when you talk to the police.
he tackled me in my house. He recorded the whole thing. This guy is out of
listen to me.
control.
Okay.
What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look, he
I'm
just
on my
touched me.
property.
You can record all you want, but you're
Another one.
stepping back
Another
right
one.
now.
This guy,
Back.
Hey, don't touch me. Stop harassing me.
We're just trying to.
I'm videoing this. You can please get out of my personal space.
No.
Yes.
You're not gonna
Get out
interfere
of my
with what we're
personal
doing.
space. This is my property. Please.
You're
get
not
out of my
gonna interfere with an arrest.
I'm chill. I've been chill.
You can record all you want, but you're not gonna get close to what they're
I'm on
doing.
my property. Move out of my personal space. Please.
I'm gonna stand right
This is
here.
my personal square. Please move.
I'm gonna stand right here.
Please move. You're in my personal space.
No.
What's your name?
Yeah, I do not need to give you that.
Yeah, you do.
For what reason?
Jack, don't do
Because you're
I
involved
know.
in this.
I'm involved with this. Yes, but this guy threatened me and called the cops on you. And what's your badge number?
What's your name?
What's your badge number? Badge number. That says name.
3K12.
Okay.
Now what's your name?
I'm not making any statements.
You're not making any statements?
Nope.
Okay, I have the right to identify you. You understand that, right?
Then you can search up my face and you can search up my record.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna sit tight for a minute. You're not
Okay.
going anywhere.
I can go in my house if I want.
No, you
Am I
can't.
detained?
You're detained.
For what reason? For what? That guy
going
threatening me? Why isn't that guy going to jail? That guy threatened to beat me in his ass. So why aren't you guys arresting him?
That's not the
Why aren't you
information I
attacking?
got.
Yeah. He can just lie.
A lot of times on domestic cases, not domestic, but a lot of times on domestic cases, the woman tells a story and doesn't matter what the guy says, they arrest him anyway. You know, you can have two competing stories and the cops will always arrest the guy. Always. And so in this case, you've got a neighbor saying this, and then now he's saying something else. Well, that's not the information we got. Well, I'm telling you the information now. I'm one of the parties. He threatened to beat my ass.
Jack,
It's clear that Jack has a relatively good understanding of the law and knows his rights well. Also, the way he behaves towards the police is excellent, because he achieves what he wants without giving them a reason to react negatively. Now let's take a look at the behavior of the police. It's evident that they are aware that the whole situation is a bit blown out of proportion and that they reacted inappropriately. The camera even caught one officer saying, "I know," when Michael stated he didn't resist. Officer Rodriguez, who led the arrest in chaos in the house, is visibly nervous, and at one point is even aggressive towards Jack. Let's remember, Jack is only 15 years old, and the only threats to the police at the moment are Jack's knowledge and his cell phone.
Step back.
You listen to this teenager who's actually pretty poised for his age. He doesn't yell at he's not yelling at the cops, and he's not swearing at the cops, and he's not calling the cops any names.
Do not step forward. What did I just
then
tell you?
Please get out of my space.
I do not have
Okay,
to. You
then
cannot interfere with what we're doing.
I'm not interfering when I'm on my property.
Don't step towards the car.
I'm not. Then
you
move out of
did
my
step
way.
towards the car. I told
Okay.
you not to.
You can't. Hey!
Stay back.
I'm going in my house.
Stay back.
I'm going in.
If you try and come past me, you're going to go on the ground face first. Do you understand me?
Okay, and then I'm going to file a complaint against you.
Your camera.
Go grab your camera. Yes, I'm allowing you to do that, but you cannot walk in my house.
So they don't have authority unless the dad gave him permission to enter the home. They don't have authority to go into the house and do a search.
Okay, bye.
When interacting with minors, officers should exercise greater caution. Threats, especially ones that involve potential physical harm, like the one made by Officer Rodriguez, are problematic both legally and ethically. If Jack felt threatened, the officer could potentially face legal consequences. Any use
There's other ways to handle a situation like this. This is what 2 years of education definitely gets you.
of force by police, including a gentle push, must be justifiable. Police can't use force merely because someone is recording them or because they find it irritating. In the U.S., citizens generally have a First Amendment right to record police officers performing their official duties in public spaces, as long as the recording does not interfere with the officer's duties or endanger anyone. And now, finally, the police question Jack about the misunderstanding and the alleged motor vehicle that caused.
This could have been handled so much differently. You know, when the dad comes to the door and then all of a sudden beats feet to turn around and run, I think the entry into the home to arrest him or take him into custody at that point is justified, because it seems like all of a sudden now he's being aggressive, and is he going back to get a weapon? I mean, could he pose a danger to the officers? So I think the exigent circumstances are there to subdue him. But after that, what they're doing with the son and stuff, and their dander is up. You can hear it. They could talk a little bit more professionally.
Caused all this chaos.
I have 3 cops on me and I'm 15 years old. Because you guys intruded my house.
So you were the one driving up and down the street on the motorcycle?
Yeah, I mean, and everything's tit for tat with these guys, and that's because they're cops. It's what they do.
I was on my gas bicycle.
Okay, that's a gas-powered vehicle. You have to have a driver's license.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not when it's 50cc and you have a permit for it.
But we tried to come here to ask a question and figure out what was going on, because what we got told is a gun was involved in this incident. So we're going to take...
So they said a gun was involved. Well, that puts the cops in a different posture altogether. And so if they think Dad's going back in there to get a gun, they're justified to stop that.
No gun was involved. Not
Okay.
at all. I don't know why you have to.
We don't know that when we
We don't know that.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I
So
understand
we're gonna
that.
come,
Yes, I
okay?
totally understand that,
Okay?
but you can't just tackle him.
But when he's told to stop, he has to stop. That's a lawful command by an officer.
We can get physical.
And under these circumstances, I think the cops are right. It is a lawful command, and they're investigating a gun case. And it doesn't matter whether there's a gun there or not. It matters what's in the cop's mind. There's also a thing called the good faith exception. Cops can be wrong, right? Cops can be absolutely wrong, but if they're acting on information and have a good faith basis to believe what they're doing is legitimate, well, then it's okay. I mean, it's not illegal.
Okay?
But you can't just come in the house without a.
We have to control this situation.
Do you have a search warrant?
We don't need a
We don't
search.
need
Yes,
one.
you do. To
You might
come
want to
in
go to
someone's house.
school and learn the law.
I
before
already
you go
know
on a
the
train.
law.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You know, I fucking love these little comments. You want to go to school and learn the law. You know, you're getting into a battle of wits with a 15-year-old, and you're essentially unarmed.
Okay.
We're not going to argue.
Okay, please don't talk to me, so get out of my way. Okay.
This is my case.
It's your
So I'll
case?
talk to you as much as I want.
Okay, well, I'm not going to respond to you.
You don't have to respond
Okay.
to me, but I can talk to you.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Here, Jack explains how the argument between the neighbor and his father started. In short, Jack was riding around, which irritated the neighbor. The neighbor started threatening him, and that's when Jack's father got involved, telling the neighbor not to get in his face, or he would have to defend himself. That's basically it. There was no weapon involved.
We walked back inside, and yeah. And now you guys are here, coming in the house, and I don't know why he's detained. I don't know why he's getting arrested.
Well, he's going to have kind of an obstruction charge. Although, if he runs back in the house, let me think about that. He's not really obstructing, is he? What did he do wrong when he ran back in the house? What crime did he commit? He really didn't commit a crime. Were the cops justified in detaining him? Yeah, they were. But I don't think it's obstruction at that point.
Well, I'm not going to get into that and talk to you about that.
Well, you can, because he's my dad, and it was on my property. But
Okay, well, it's not your property, it's your dad's, but we're not going to get into that, okay?
actually, technically, it is, because I'm underneath his guardian, so.
Okay, but we're not going to get into that, okay?
Okay.
I'm just
This kid's actually pretty bright.
trying to find out where, what we're trying to get situated
Okay.
is what took place between you guys being
Okay, and I'm filing a
Okay,
what's caught on him, because he touched me when I did nothing.
Okay,
I mean,
do you want to have a
where's
actual
your dad
conversation?
Where's he going?
To Summit County Jail.
So, okay,
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm more willing to talk to you, but I'm not going to play the stupid games. Okay?
you kind of are, because.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I have the case number right now?
Huh?
Can I have where?
You can give it to your dad.
No, right now. I need to hear.
Okay,
Tell you what, you can go in the house, you can do whatever, but we're done with you guys.
Okay.
You guys aren't being cooperative. We'll leave it at that.
It seems that, on the contrary, Officer Rodriguez is bothered by the fact that Jack talks a lot and knows a lot.
That really bugs cops. It really does, because they want to be in control. They want to do their job, and they have to do their job. But when you're not being cooperative, because they want to get their confession, they want to get their evidence, and when you stand in the way of that by either not cooperating or being silent or being a clever little teenager, well, they don't fucking like that.
As already mentioned, no weapon was involved in this entire situation. There wasn't even a physical altercation, so Mr. Michael was unjustifiably treated as some kind of threat.
And that's what kills me about this, because had he not run into the house, had they just explained what happened to in this altercation with the neighbor, he likely wouldn't have gotten arrested.
It's incredible how Jack is capable of silencing every officer around him. If you look closely at their body language and reactions, you'll see that Jack, with his knowledge and verbal skills, puts them in a very uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Honestly, they've got no complaint against this teenager. There's no criminal complaint against him. There's, wanting to find out what happened, but they really got no business with the kid.
Let's see what else Jack will find out from the officer when he starts questioning him about the weapon.
I don't know if there's an issue going on with neighbors and with your dad and that guy. I don't know what's going on.
This is the first time we've ever seen him, met him, heard of him, looked at him, and the first thing I hear is him saying that bicycle is illegal. It's a 50cc and I have a permit for it, and I told him that, and he goes, well, move out of the way or I'm gonna beat your ass. So that's the first confrontation we had.
That's a problem. I mean, that just is a function of low frustration tolerance.
We had, and all of a sudden he's calling, or I don't know if it's exactly him, you don't have to tell me, but saying that there's a gun involved.
Okay. I'll tell you right now, it wasn't him.
Okay.
So,
Did he call? He called about something probably, right?
About the bikes and stuff and whatnot, yeah.
Probably, yes,
So,
but it's
okay.
legal.
But there was other people that were just kind of watching because they heard the commotion, and then they just seen it tucked in the back waistband as you guys were walking back to the house.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So if he has a concealed carry permit, or anyone here, and they have a gun, isn't that legal? And you can open carry in the state of Utah, right?
It's 100% legal.
It is.
Yes.
But there's a difference between tucking it in your waistband. That is not open carry. That is a form. Open carry is seriously. This is open carry.
Yeah.
There is no obstruction. It's clear as day.
Yes, I
Okay?
understand.
So
that.
once you tuck a weapon in your waistband or anything,
You have to have a concealed carry permit.
You have to have a concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
Now the average Joe that's standing out here if they see,
They don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah, you can't.
And all they know is there was an argument.
Yep.
And there was a what
Confrontation.
They thought, confrontation, possibly weapon.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to find out what's going on.
I understand that. Yes,
Okay?
I totally understand that. Like, you don't know if there's a gun being pointed at someone. Anything.
Correct.
You have to plan for the
Yep,
worst.
so we just have to look at it. And
So I
investigate.
understand that. Yes. But
Now this is an intelligent conversation, which is the way this should have happened from the very beginning. Dad escalated this by turning around and running around.
So, okay. So that's just where things
were you standing at the front door with?
I was standing on the sidewalk. So,
Who was with him at the front door?
well, eventually everybody was at the front door.
Well, when two people both knocked on the door.
So he was standing on the porch, and I was standing out on the sidewalk in front of your porch.
And can you tell me why he tackled him into the house? Why he
No
tackled
one
him?
got tackled. He was told to stop.
I saw him
And
with
he
his
took-
arm behind his back and twisted all around,
Okay, but that's not
saying,
tackling.
"Come outside."
That's not tackling. Okay.
And I heard that something.
Now they're going to argue about what tackling is. I mean, he certainly was tackled, and I do think the cops were justified in securing him to protect the integrity of the safety of the scene.
That there was big smacks and stuff like that. So
So,
yeah, I know that's a
I'm not-
taser. But
I know, but what
I'm still talking. Can you please not interrupt me? So
Can you please not? You know, most teens are like intimidated by cops. This kid and his dad have probably had many, many, many conversations about cops and what you say and what you don't say to cops, that kind of thing.
I heard all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you guys are in the house. Did he allow you guys to come in the house?
Okay. I'm not going to get into that with you.
Okay, because you know that you guys came in illegally.
If Mr. Franchek has a valid concealed firearm permit in Utah, he would be allowed to carry a firearm concealed, including in his waistband. Utah also does allow open carry of firearms if the firearm is 2 actions away from firing. For semi-automatic firearms, this typically means carrying without a round chambered. However, if the firearm is concealed, then the aforementioned CFP is necessary. If someone knowingly lied to the police about Mr. Franchek having a weapon, they could potentially face legal consequences. Now let's look at the very end of the discussion and see what happened after all of this.
So what's your name?
You already figured it out. So
I figured it out.
you already got it from him.
Did we get his identification?
Yeah.
He didn't give it to us.
You
but I
have his
figured
last
it
name
out.
and you figured out my first name. So
So I'll screen this for no disclosure of ID.
No disclosure of ID. Oh, that's going to be the huge fucking bust of the century. Come on. I mean,
Okay. I literally said I don't make statements. You're like begging me for my
Okay, but here's the
identification.
thing.
I'm not talking to you.
You're
I'm
required
talking
by
to you.
law.
Jack, let me explain something to you,
Okay,
Jack.
I'm not talking to you.
Jack, the reason we're here is because of you racing your motorcycle or your gas-powered bike or whatever.
That I have a permit for.
Okay.
So I don't know why you're here. And You're
just
here.
told you
You're
why we're
here
here.
because he told me because someone called the cops saying that there was a gun involved. So you don't have to lie because I know that guy.
No. We found out there was a gun involved later.
No, when someone called, he told me you guys came here for that. I have it on video. I don't
All
care.
right.
You guys can say whatever.
Have a nice day, all right?
Okay, you too.
Here was he once here.
Failure for identification? When my dad literally said his name's Jack Franchek? Okay.
Ultimately, Michael Franchek was arrested and charged with interfering with an arresting officer, failure to disclose his identity, and disorderly conduct. However, these charges were dropped soon after the arrest. Following this, Franchek filed a federal lawsuit against Park City, alleging that his and his son's civil rights were violated during the confrontation. Officer Rodriguez was found in violation of 5 acts of procedural misconduct.
5 acts, procedure misconduct. Oh, I guess you can now afford some little time off.
After a detailed investigation, 3 Park City police officers were found guilty of a total of 9 violations by Internal Affairs. And for the very end, Sergeant Cameron Thor was fired from service.
You know, this is a good lesson in a sense. I mean, these cops did go overboard, but it really could have been nipped in the bud at the very beginning if you just told your side of the story. And guess what? Guess what would have happened? The cops would have went on their way, and you wouldn't have been tackled. I don't know if he won any money in that federal civil suit, but that's the only thing you can get. And what are your damages? I suppose your damages are that they entered your home, you were arrested, spent a night in jail, were charged with a crime, the crimes were dismissed. So there's some damages there. But my advice to you guys, what's the harm in giving the cops your information? Here's my ID. There's no harm in doing that. You see all these videos that people post, where you confront the cops. You don't answer questions, but you can give them your ID, and, it is what it is. We'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and you sign up for Patreon. And we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away.
23-hour lockdown, please, is that my God?